So if you ask me, I think OGP is an advocacy opportunity we should take as civil society. So what is needed to really make it work? Many things, Rakesh was already mentioning, and a lot of it comes from being flexible, innovative, creative. If you pick out two things, one is government has to take this process serious, obviously. They cannot see OGP as how some corporates see corporate social responsibility. OGP is not a field marketing project. It has to be taken serious, it has to be well-resourced. The political leaders have to back the reformers on the inside, and they have to take serious the role of civil society in all the stages of OGP. But, and again Rakesh was referring to it, we also have to take it very serious as civil society. If we want to be equal partner in this partnership, we have to behave like one. Which means we have to prepare, we have to be strategic, creative. We have to make sure we have people on the inside and people on the outside. People that can talk to government about what commitments we want, and people on the outside that can actually keep the pressure on. We need pragmatic talkers, we need pressuring activists. And I think Indonesia is an example of a country where both come together. We heard it in the introduction. There's here a core team working with the government on the inside, and there is an independent monitoring civil society team on the outside. They have both, and you need both. So, it will not be easy. I think that's clear. I mean, basically what we're doing is we're reinventing the partnership between government and civil society. And that's a difficult thing to do. It will take a long time to really understand each other's culture, language, context, needs. But if you ask me, I think the glass of OGP is half full, at least. We've seen it work in some countries at some moments, in some issues. And it works when all elements come together. When we know what the right actors are, they have the right power, we have the right expertise, we have an open mindset, and we have the time to actually deliver. When all these things come together, OGP can be a very powerful tool. The coming days, we're together in this group, and in 2 days' time, in a much bigger group. But let's focus on today. 179 people from a big range of countries from Asia. How often do you get the opportunity to hear from colleagues from all across the continent what is happening in their countries? What is happening in a positive way and what's happening in a negative way? Take this opportunity to talk to each other, to learn from each other, to hear from each other how you're doing things, how you can use OGP as a platform to do things. Today is really centered around these three teams that you've heard 3 times. And that's a great thing. We can use today to talk about how to strengthen the OGP platform, how to link to the 2015 development goals, how to really use OGP to uphold values around transparency, accountability, and good governance. Does Asia Pacific need OGP? By talking to you, by looking at international indices, I would say yes. By looking at the fact that many of your countries are not even eligible for OGP yet, and the threshold for eligibility is really not that high, I think you can say yes, Asia Pacific does need OGP. Going back to 1998, Indonesia, the Indonesian Spring, there were big concepts OGP talks about: transparency, accountability, participation. Are these really high-level, abstract, elitist concepts? I think the spring of 1998 shows it's not. I think that shows that if you push people enough, if you don't take them serious as a government, if you do not create the society they need and want, they will stand up and push back and tell you this is not what they want. And that gives you 15 years later a different Indonesia, an Indonesia where you not only have that anti-corruption commission, you also have a president that took the leadership to create and lead the Open Government Partnership. You have a governor in Jakarta who is popular for the mere fact that he's walking the talk of transparency, accountability, and participation. definitely I think we can conclude that in the 50 years it shows that getting sustainable real change is difficult. It's very difficult, and it goes with ups and downs. But it also shows that if you have reformers on the government side and on civil society side, things can happen, and they can happen fast and real. Terima kasih.